topic is product.
Good morning, everyone. It's Monday in May, and welcome to Mentor Monday. And we got a great group in here from all over the world as usual on Monday morning and Monday afternoon and Monday evening, and wherever you are checking in from. But we got, as always, Mr. Dave Daughtry with us. Not always, but he's here most of the time. He was traveling last week. I understand he's got some great stories to tell us from his travels last week. But let's jump in. We got a little bit of a late start today because of some technical difficulties, but we're here. Invite your friends that could not get it. They can get in now. So resend this link to everyone and invite them to join us. Dave, great to see you. I knew you were traveling. Where did you go last week? You're muted, Dave.
There we go. Sorry about that. I had to go back east. Basically just a lot of stuff to do with setting up systems with shipping. So just that and inventory control, things like that. But you know, it's all done. And I did have some interesting experiences though, that would be kind of fun to share with you guys. And maybe you all have some to share with me as well. I'd love to hear them.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any new folks today? Any new affiliates or customers joining us from around the world today that were invited? I know last Monday we had a couple new people on. I think from the UK.
I see some new names. Definitely,
Yeah.
I see some new names here.
Yeah, do see some new names. Raise your hand or just jump, open your mic and jump in and let us know where you're checking in from today. Anybody?
I see a new name. I see Sarit as a new name, and I can recognize her because of the heart, and I've never seen that picture. So I'm going to ask Sarit if they would like to unmute and maybe introduce themselves, because I do want to make sure we get everybody new. Sarit, can you unmute yourself if you feel comfortable?
Hi, yes. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yes, I saw you before, Claudia. I'm sorry, I'm not opening my video, but I'm not new to the project. I am new to this training in English. And so thank you very much for your time and expertise. And that's it. I'm between Mexico and Texas.
Mexico and Texas. Good.
Yes.
I'm in the East. I'm in East Texas, so we'll have to connect sometime. So
Okay, great.
we've got a
Thank
great
you.
group down in San Antonio. We were down in San Antonio a week and a half ago, and there's a great group down there.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Welcome, Sarit.
Welcome.
And the other phone is Georgia's iPhone. I'm gonna ask Georgia to unmute herself, her or himself. Sometimes you don't know with names, right, Michael?
Yeah.
It might be Georgia, but it can be a male. So, Georgia, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself so just that we get to know each other?
Hello, my name is Georgia. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. And this is my first Zoom meeting. And I just want to see what it's all about.
Georgia and Michael, I'll let you host. Go ahead.
No, I know that's fine. Georgia, welcome. We've got such a great team in Nairobi, and it always seems like we have somebody new coming in from the Nairobi team. Very, very special welcome to you too this morning, or good evening there. What is it?
Good
8 o'clock, I believe.
Thank
there.
you.
So very special welcome.
I just want to
you.
ask her, I want to ask Georgia who invited her to the meeting, who is her upliner, who told her about the meeting. Georgia.
It's my sister who put it on, Jonita Coelho.
Okay.
Who is your
So I
sister?
Jonita, she's here. Jonita Coelho.
Here.
Very good. Oh, Juanita Coelho. Yes, yes. Oh, very good. Very good. Welcome, Georgia, and welcome. Very good.
Okay.
Okay. I don't recognize any other new people, but thank you. Thank you, Georgia. Nice to meet you. Gonna mute
Nice
Georgia
to meet
now.
you too. Yes. Okay.
Okay, Mike.
Okay. Well, let's I'm excited to hear what Dave's got to share with us today. And any of you got something special wherever you are. South America doing some specials down there. I know Kenya might be running some specials into the month. Speak up afterwards with Dave. Dave will and let us know if you have any questions for Dave too. But Dave's got a great message for us today. Dave, always great to see you, buddy. Take it away.
Thank you, J. Michael. I appreciate all of you that taking the time to join us. You know, these Zooms, Mentor Monday, it's a great way to kick off your week. You know, bring everyone together, bring the For Life family together, the team together, our community together. Share ideas. I love to hear from you guys as well. If you have experiences you want to share, questions, concerns, fear, whatever it is. The whole purpose of these Zooms is so we all can grow. We all can progress. We all can develop. That's what this is about. And frankly, that's what life is about. Development, growing, progression, all right? And at the end of the day, we're all looking to have results. The only way you get results is through action. And people tend to take more action when they're confident. Well, how do you gain confidence? By coming together and learning from each other, growing, developing all those things I just mentioned, and sharing stories, which I want to share with you real quick. A couple of experiences I had last week. You know, those of you that know me know that I am a networker. When somebody says, you know, ask me what I do for a living, which happened to me this last week a few times, people had asked me, what do you do? And the reason they ask me what I do is because many times in conversation, especially on an airplane's a great place to converse with the person sitting next to you because they can't get away. What are they going to do? Jump off the plane? And so you're talking to them, and I ask them, well, what kind of work do you do? I'm curious. I'm a curious person. And let me tell you, I've met movie stars, I've met athletes, producers, music producers, all kinds of people from all walks of life. And when they ask me what I do, which tends to be something that after I ask them what they do, sometimes they just tell me and they're quiet, which basically means shut up. I want to rest. I don't feel like conversing. Okay. I leave them alone. Now, I'm not there to bother anybody, but 90% of the time they will ask me what I do. Well, that's where my work begins. When they ask me what I do, I'm a networker first and foremost. All right. Well, somebody else, you know, may say I'm an engineer, I'm an accountant, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse. I'm a networker. That tends to create curiosity. What's a networker? Never heard of a networker before. And then I basically proceed to tell them. Okay. So this last week, I had some time to kill before meeting, the first meeting I had, which was last Tuesday. And I had about an hour and a half, and I thought, you know what? I need to get a haircut. I'm going to get a haircut. That's another great place to meet someone. And I pulled into this strip mall, and there was this place that said barber. I walked in, and it was kind of interesting. There's a pool table there, a couple guys shooting pool, and this is in the daytime. There must have been probably 20 barbers in there cutting hair, and it was kind of like a club. And they're all talking, having a great time. It was quite a jovial place for a barber shop. And so I just asked a lady, I said, do you take walk-ins? And she just hollered over at this guy, said, Hansel, you know, it's your turn. Basically, they go by turns, whoever a walk-in is, you know, and they passed me off to Hansel. I walked over and I sat in Hansel's chair, asked if I could put my glasses, my sunglasses down, my cell phone. And he started, you know, asking me how I want my haircut, cut my hair. Okay. Well, I'm not going to just, I'm a networker. I'm not just going to sit there while my hair is being cut and just remain silent. I need to work. It's what I do. All right. Well, that's how I make money, by working. I think everybody on this call makes money by some sort of work they do. Well, my work is networking, and I love it. It's simple and it's fun, and I get to meet people. I learn from people. And so far, no one has shot me. No one has hit me in the face. No one has spit on, nothing. They just listen. So I talked to Hansel, tell him about what I do, what's, you know, network marketing, I told him home-based business. All right. So I teach people how to start a business right from home. They can build a multinational business by using the tools that we have. You know, everybody gets a web domain. We've got a cell phone app. We're in the health and wellness business. Health and wellness is a $1 trillion industry. And we've got some products that are very unique and patented that very few people know about. And I proceeded to tell him a little bit about transfer factor, about the science of transfer factor. And he was very fast cutting my hair, by the way. He was all done in like 15 minutes, and you just use scissors. I'm like, man, I feel like a bush getting, sheared. But anyhow, if you can read this for me, Claudia, real quick. This is after I was leaving, when I was preparing to leave. He handed me a cell phone and he said, put your number in here. I put my phone number in there. And then he sent me this, and you can even see the time on it. Do you mind reading that for me?
A little bit farther though, it says, hi, David. This is Hansel the Barber. I am interested in learning more. Send me info. Thank you. Do I read your answer? Okay.
That's it. It's that simple. You see, sometimes we complicate this, and it's super, super simple to share. But people, like I said, tend to share when they have some confidence, and the confidence comes from knowledge. And that's why we have these Zooms, and why we recommend getting with your team, at least once a week, to fill your cup with the energy you need, the knowledge you need, the excitement you need, the motivation, inspiration, mentorship, all that stuff that we all need, by the way, even me, to continue growing, progressing, and learning our business. It's a process. This process, there's no way to circumvent it. That's why people quit, by the way, because they try to find some magical bullet, some sort of magic where they can get rich overnight. Ain't gonna happen. I'll tell you that right now. And people join companies because they think that's gonna happen. It's not. You build this, and building requires effort. It requires, discipline, tenacity, learning, growing, all those things. So why not just do it? Like Nike says, just do it. And by the way, here's a shout out or a plug. Air. If you guys can watch the movie Air, watch it. It's the Michael Jordan story about how he totally changed the tennis shoe industry in 1982. Air. All right. By the way, Viola Davis, or R4Life Viola Davis, she plays Michael Jordan's mother in the movie Air. You need to watch it. So, but here's the thing. So I talked to Hansel. I sent him some content, and wouldn't you know it, this happens now. Every now and then we have obstacles get in our way. I couldn't get the app to work, the 4Life app. And I'm frustrated because I want to send him the transfer factor video. I want to send him why 4Life. All right. Some content I want to send to him. Well, I couldn't get the blasted app to work. Has that happened to any of you guys this past week? All right. Well, if it hasn't happened to you, it's because you haven't tried using the app, because it's down. All right. That means you're not working. All right. So, can you read this for me, Cloudy, or J. Michael? Maybe you, Ronja, if you can read this for me. Can you see that? I sent 4Life a text to Brian Gill, the vice president of marketing, saying, Brian, the app is down. Something's going on. Are you able to read what that says?
Let's see. I've got a great. No, I can't read it. Can you read it?
Morning. Oh, what he answered? Morning,
Yeah.
Dave. Thanks for letting me know, and thanks for always using the app. I was not aware of this until you told me. However, when I went to verify it, I experienced the same thing you did. I reached out to our team just now, and they were already aware, and they are already working on it with a very high priority.
So, you guys, building your business requires communication. It's not perfect. Is anything in your life perfect? I don't think so. So this isn't going to be either, but we look for solutions. All right. So I need to get Hansel some information, and not just Hansel. That evening, I talked to another guy, Christian from Argentina. I happened to have some extra luggage with me. He helped me take it to my room, and I'm talking to him, and he sent me his contact info. So Brian Gill at 4Life, he emailed me the links to the content. The transfer factor video, he just sent me the links to an email so I could copy and paste it in WhatsApp or text or whatever. So what's my point of all this? You guys, solutions, all right? For every challenge, there is a solution, but you have to find it, all right? You look for the solutions, you find the solution. That's how we grow. That's how we develop. That's how we progress. And frankly, that's how we make money. All right, looking for solutions to grow your business. So I got the content to them. All right. So today we're talking about products. So let's get into this. All right. I share products with people. Whenever I talk to people, I do not know in the beginning of my conversation which direction it's going to go. I don't, like with Hansel, I could tell that being a barber, he's married. He has a wife, no kids yet, young, going to start a young family. And I could sense he wanted something different other than just being a barber his whole life. Well, I have an option for him, an opportunity. I can talk about money, 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 money. And we talked a lot about that, all right, making money. But at the end of the day, we are marketing a product. We need to be like rainbows, you guys. A rainbow has many colors. You adapt to the person you're talking to. If the beginning of the conversation is about opportunity and money, great, that's what I'll talk about. I adapt to the individual or the prospect I'm talking to. I don't try to force them to adapt to me. If I force them to adapt to me, I'm probably going to end up losing them because they have needs, they have desires, all right, and they have wants. So if I address those things with them, guess what? I've got a really good chance of bringing them in to my family, my community, my team with For Life. All right. So if the conversation starts about business, that's the way we start. But at some point, I do get to talking about the products. If we start with products, because it just so happens that they immediately tell me, I've got a situation right now, I'm struggling with this disease, let's say, and they want to talk about it, that's what we'll talk about, all right? But at the end of the day, we have a technology, a science, a product that nobody else has. I'll repeat that. Nobody else has transfer factor. We have 82 patents, so write that down, 82. It used to be 60. I need to change the PowerPoint, by the way, because it still says 60. There's 82 patents now. David Lisenby, our founder, does a great job at acquiring new patents on, these are worldwide patents, by the way, on our technology. Nobody from China, I don't know China, you don't know about China, but the point is, they cannot copy our technology. And by the way, it's not easy. All right, it's a very delicate, intricate process to isolate transfer factor molecules, extract them for human consumption. So let's talk about transfer factor. When you talk to someone about transfer factor and about products, make sure you tell them that this is unique. This is not what we call Me Too stuff, like all the other companies out there. Oh, I got that also. Me too, me too, me too. No, they don't. And if somebody says, well, I got colostrum. No, this is not colostrum. That's like saying rocket fuel and oil is the same thing. No, it's not. It's very, very different. Okay. One will get you to outer space. All right. And the other one will kill your automobile if you put it in the gas tank or the fuel tank. All right. So the point is, they're very different. And to be able to explain it to someone in a simple manner, all right, is something we all need to be able to do. Now, the plan was to have Dr. Vaughn on today to talk about transfer factor. I love Dr. Vaughn. He's wonderful. And he has really done a great job of adapting to the KISS method. Keep it simple and stupid. KISS. All right. Because as a networker, that's what I try to do. Keep things simple, because the more I complicate it when I talk to someone, then the more they realize or they think, their perception is they can't do this because it's too complicated. I don't want that. I want them to easily be able to understand what transfer factor is, how it works in the body. But at the same time, you can have fun, because the way you converse with someone, you can sound like you're a genius. It's not always what you say, but how you say it. So practice with yourself. Practice in the mirror. I did it. I practiced in the mirror. My first presentations about transfer factor, and by the way, I called it trans factor. I always got the name messed up, trans factor. But I practice in the mirror. All right. But my point is this: practice makes perfect. Practice what you say. All right. Get better at what you say. And when you find yourself in different situations with different, people ask different questions and so forth, that's great. That's what makes you grow. That's what makes you develop. Being challenged when somebody asks you something. I get that all the time. Now, so when I talk to people about transfer factor, one, I like to mention the patents. I like to mention its uniqueness. It's different. And I tell them that it's a messenger molecule. And we have the technology to isolate this particular molecule for human consumption. Sounds kind of cool, all right? We isolate and extract this molecule for human consumption, all right? Just practice that simple sentence. It's true. We have different delivery systems for this molecule. We have it in powder, capsule. We have it in chewable. We have it in gel. We have it in spray. We have it in liquid. We even have it now in pure powder form, which is this right here. All right. So there's many delivery systems for whatever your needs are for transfer factor. Now, what I tell people before I tell them where it comes from, I like to tell them what it does. What does transfer factor do? And COVID was a really good example. Why did people struggle with COVID? Very simple. It's really simple. Because their immune system didn't recognize it as an enemy until it was late in many cases, and therefore the actual disease or virus was able to take hold in their body. In some cases, it was too late. So they were not able to mount an immune response or a defense in time to protect themselves. Now, younger people who had immune systems that were healthier, stronger, more prepared, more vigilant, more awake or aware, their immune systems were not affected as much. And therefore, many of them were asymptomatic. They got COVID and didn't even know they had COVID. They get tested and they have the antibody. So they had it, didn't even know they had it. Wouldn't it be wonderful if your entire life was that way? You can get all kinds of diseases, not even know it, not even know you had it. That's really what life should be like. All right. Your immune system is supposed to take care of you. And by the way, that's God's way of keeping us alive, giving us an immune system that has an important responsibility. All right. And that responsibility is to recognize the enemy, respond to that enemy and eliminate it, and remember the enemy for a period of time. And that's not going to be for life in most cases. In some it can be, like chickenpox. All right. Once you had it, then you have memory. All right. That's why people get chickenpox basically one time in life, but it could come back as shingles. All right. It's a form of chickenpox. But the point is this: transfer factor helps the immune system do its job. So does transfer factor cure anything? No. If you had COVID and didn't even know it and you're asymptomatic, were you cured? Yeah, I guess you were. You got it. Didn't bother you in any way. So you were cured from it. But what cured you? Your immune system cured you. That's what the job of the immune system is. Now, when you think about diseases, there's heart disease, there's liver disease, there's kidney disease, there's neurological diseases, there's digestive diseases, there's skin disease, all kinds of diseases. So if you think about it, all those systems, cardiovascular, nervous, endocrine system, respiratory system, reproductive system, all these systems, they all depend on one system to maintain optimal function and health. And that's called the immune system. We at 4Life have been known since our inception, since the beginning, as the immune system company. And I understand that it's not a a topic of conversation often, where you talk to someone and say, hey, by the way, Beverly, how's your immune system doing today? We just don't do that. But if you think about it, it's extremely important. And when COVID hit, it became a topic of conversation, even to the point where I was seeing advertisements on television. It could be cranberry juice, and they'd say it's good for the immune system. People started using the immune system as marketing tool or ploy for their product. All right. So it did become important. And it is important, our immune system. So when I talk to people and I explain it to people, one, I establish that we are the immune system company. We have a product that's not a Me Too product. It's very unique. You can consume it in many different ways, and it plays a vital role in helping you maintain good health, which is the function of your immune system. So let's talk specifically now about transfer factor. What are the benefits of transfer factor? I've not even said where it comes from yet. And like I said, I usually save that towards the end of my conversation, where it comes from, because I want them to relate to what I'm saying. So I will tell them the function of our immune system real quick. It's to keep us alive. It has a job of recognizing threats, all right, responding to those threats and eliminating them, and then remembering the threat. Well, we have something, and the only thing, I'll repeat that, the only thing on this planet that can do that for the immune system. There is no drug, and this is usually one of the first things I tell people. There's no drug, no medicine, there's no vitamin, no mineral, no supplement, no herb or plant, nothing that has the ability to educate, literally transfer information, educating your immune system to do those three things: recognize a threat, respond to it, and remember it. Wouldn't it be amazing if your immune system could do that 100% of the time for every threat out there? Recognize it, respond, eliminate it, and remember it, and you go about your life 100% optimal health. Never have a challenge. Wouldn't that be incredible? Well, I believe, honestly, that we can get to that point. Transfer factor does that. It educates the immune system. It provides knowledge. It provides wisdom. Well, wisdom. Let me tell you about wisdom in just a second here. So number one, transfer factor educates your immune system to identify the enemy, which means recognize. We always talk about the 3 R's. Recognize it, respond to it by activating those necessary cells, natural killer cells, macrophages, your T helper cells, your B, all the immune cells. You want them to be prepared, be active to identify the threat. And then remember it in case it comes back. But because these immune cells do have a lifetime, cells are born and then cells die, and new cells have to be born again to replace the cells that died. Those new cells need continual education as well. That's why it's important to continuously take transfer factor, to keep the new cells that are being born educated as well as the ones that were previously educated. So there is a life to these immune cells and transfer factor. Transfer factor, just so you know, is a bioactive molecule. You cannot heat it up. If you overheat it, you will kill its bioactivity. So you need to, maintain it at a room temperature, right? And we're not talking, if I put it, under a flame, obviously it would kill it. Or if I boiled it, it would kill it, all right? But it's pretty strong molecule, okay? So again, recognize, respond, and remember the 3 R's. Let's talk about wisdom now. Transfer factor provides wisdom to the immune system. Now, I'm real big on analogies. I love analogies when I talk to people. My office here, this is my home office I'm in, I have a thermostat on the wall over here, okay? That thermostat keeps my office at optimal temperature for me, for my liking. If it gets too cold outside, it'll turn the heat on, so I'm nice and cozy. If it gets too hot, it'll turn the air conditioner on, so it cools off in here and keeps me nice and cozy. You want your immune system to be nice and cozy. That means your immune system turns on when necessary and goes to work, does its job, eliminates the enemy, and then it should turn off. Just like my thermostat will turn off once it hits the optimal temperature that I've set it to. Well, your immune system, I'm not going to say it turns off, but what it does, it relaxes. It relaxes, meaning that there's no threat present. Well, what happens if there's a threat present? I'm sorry, if there's no threat, take that back. What happens if there's no threat present and your immune system continues to fight? It continues to work. That causes something called autoimmune problems. And many, many, many millions of people suffer from autoimmune related problems because their immune system has lost the wisdom or knowledge to relax. What causes it? I don't know the exact cause, but I would say that it could be anything from environmental stress, emotional stress, lack of proper diet, lack of exercise, lifestyle, all those things, cause stress, therefore causing the immune system to dysfunction. And all of a sudden it just keeps working when it's supposed to relax. And then you have digestive disorders like my Crohn's disease. When I was diagnosed with Crohn's back in 1990, long time ago. Haven't had a problem since 1998, by the way. So for 25 years now, never had a flare up, no problems at all. Because of transfer factor, by the way. Well, that's really how I fell in love with transfer factor, using it first. So the wisdom in transfer factor is the ability to educate the immune system to activate and turn on when necessary and relax like an ambassador and say, keep the peace, everybody. There's nothing to fight here when necessary. All right. So that's the wisdom of transfer factor. Now, when I first started taking transfer factor, this was all that was available. Classic. Okay. And that's probably why I love the classic, because that's what I took in the beginning and I got great results taking transfer factor classic. Well, then we, of course, came out with ovo factor and nano factor. The nano factor, which is nano being small, small, small molecule, that nano factor really is where the most of the wisdom comes from. That enables the immune system to know when to turn on, when to turn off, when to relax, and so forth. All right. So that's the other function of the immune system. All right. Is being wise, knowing when to turn on and when to turn off. All right. Now, let's talk about absorption of transfer factor. This is something I heard in the very beginning, back in the early days, and I never talked much about it because I just didn't feel it was necessary. But because the video has come out explaining how we actually absorb transfer factors, I'm curious, does anybody know where we absorb our transfer factors? Do you want to put in the chat real quick? Throw in the chat. I'm curious to see how many actually pay attention to the video, the transfer factor video. Come on, you guys, throw it out there. Nope, colon, nope. Come on, throw it at me. Someone knows it, all right? This is transfer factor 101. There is a particular location in your body where you actually absorb the transfer factor molecules. And now they are throughout the digestive. Okay, all right, Claudia got it. Okay, she called their Peter's patches. You're close, Claudia, I like that. They're called Peyer's patches. Peyer's. Let's think of prayers, like let's say a prayer, but remove the R, Peyer's, or almost like pear, like you eat a pear. Peyer's patches, all right? These Peyer's patches are all throughout your digestive system, all right? But they begin in the gut, in the stomach. And by the way, that's where the immune system really begins, the gut, okay? That's why it's so important, your gut health, your microbiome, but that's for another topic. We're talking transfer factor. And we can get into some other products in a minute here, but transfer factors are absorbed through Peyer's patches, okay? Now, remember that, memorize it, Peyer's patches. So when you're talking to someone, you want to sound impressive, all right? You tell them, let me tell you what transfer factor does, all right? The 3 R's, recognize, respond, remember, wisdom, educating the immune system, when to turn on, when to turn off. Well, You can consume it in many different ways: liquid, capsule, powder, gel, spray, all kinds of ways to consume it. But it enters the body or into the bloodstream through these Peyer's patches. And it goes in and starts educating your immune system. Okay. Now, when you talk to people, it may seem weird at first because you say, well, I'm not a doctor. Doesn't matter. It's knowledge. All right. I've educated doctors. I just did it recently. A doctor in Mexico. I educated him about transfer factor. The guy's he's been a medical doctor for like 40 years. And here I'm educating him on transfer factor. Now, when I tell people about transfer factor that are of that level of education, doctors and so forth, I do tell them this. There's many clinical studies on transfer factors now, because doctors, now remember, I'm a rainbow. I adapt to my audience. I don't tell this to the average person I'm talking to. Last thing I want to do is send them to places where they're going to start reading all this technical doctor language, and then they're going to get complicated. All right. So you use the ammunition that corresponds with the prospect you're talking to. If I'm talking to a doctor, I will tell them most doctors have access to PubMed. Those are medical publications. The doctors all over the world subscribe to PubMed because if they're looking for a drug for a disease, the drugs come out, new drugs every year, probably every month there's new drugs around the world. So they want to keep up on what's going on in the drug business. Well, PubMed has different studies on different drugs. We're there. Transfer factor's there, but it's not listed as a drug. It's a nutraceutical or non-prescription. And it's even in the physician's desk reference. So I tell them that. It's in the PDR. I tell them it's in PubMed. There's over 3,000 studies now they can research on PubMed with transfer factors to learn about how. And the challenge I run into when I do that, though, I have now delayed the process of this person getting involved in my community, my team, my family, my business, because now they're going to go spend the next weeks and months trying to study. They're not all that way, but many of them are. Okay. I'm a networker. All right. So I want to move as quickly as possible to build this business. Why? At the end of the day, if every one of you had 100,000 people in an organization and you're doing, 2 or 3 or 4 million a month of volume, and you're bringing in 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month of income, life would probably be a little bit different. All right. But there's a process with doctors and medical technical people. The process tends to take a little bit longer. All right. Hansel, the barber, I'm not going to give him all that technical stuff. All I want from Hansel is to invite people to the table and let me present the plan to 10, 20, 30 of his contacts and see who we can get into. We'll say, you know what? I'll buy some. I'll try it. I'll try some transfer factor. I'll try some Rio Vita. I believe in health and wellness. I'm not sleeping very well at night. I'll try some Sleep Right. Okay. That's what I'm looking for first and foremost. But if you need to have all the info before you can make a decision, I got to pull out the ammunition and the bazooka and the big guns and the rockets and all that and start firing those. But normally I've just got my pistols handy, firing away at what's necessary with this person I'm talking to. Okay. So again, transfer factor, the 3 R's: recognize, respond, remember. Peyer's patches, that's where you absorb transfer factor. Talk about the wisdom. Transfer factor educates the immune system when to turn on, when to turn off. All right. Those are simple things, super simple to explain to someone. And I think most people understand it. Now let's talk about the history of transfer factor. And when I do that, I like to begin with God. Okay. Sounds kind of crazy me saying it that way, but it's true. God provided every mother, female, the ability to produce transfer factors. When a woman gets pregnant, she has already confronted all kinds of diseases in her lifetime, bacteria and viruses and parasites and fungus. She's developed these antibodies. She has an educated immune system, or more educated than this baby. The baby doesn't have any acquired immunity. It's not acquired anything yet. So the baby will depend on the mother to provide that immune knowledge. So when the baby's born, the mother will now pass or transfer. That's how the name came about, by the way, transfer factor. There's factors or molecular information that she will pass to her newborn baby by way of that first maternal milk, which, by the way, the first 24 hours after birth, it is critical that the baby receives that immune education, that immune knowledge. That's why the first 24 hours after birth, the colostrum is extremely thick and rich and yellow, full of transfer factor molecules. The mother will now start educating the baby's immune system. So I begin with God. God created this, all right, not man. What we've discovered, what we've learned as men, as humans, is that we now can isolate the molecule. We can extract it for human consumption later in life. Well, why is that important? If I ask you all right now, I assume that when you were in school, you took math class, and you probably learned algebra, you probably learned trigonometry, and maybe even calculus. I didn't do very good in calculus, that's for sure. But I enjoyed some of the others. But if you ask me today, do I remember everything? No, heavens no. I don't remember any of it, all right? So I would have had to continuously throughout my lifetime educate myself, my brain, on math and trigonometry and calculus if I want to continue to solve those problems later in life. The same applies to the immune system. The immune system actually starts to uneducate or forget, or better said, dysfunction as we go through life. Why? Again, stresses. I'm sure there's all kinds of reasons the immune system, it just doesn't continuously, and antibodies, by the way, have a lifetime. Antibodies, they're not forever, all right? So therefore, you continuously want to educate the immune system, all right? So transfer factors, first of all, are God's way of helping keep our immune system educated. Well, where do we get these transfer factors? Now, this is where I actually throw in a joke. I don't know, maybe it's not funny, but it's my way of just, I guess, trying to throw some humor in there. We're not going to go around and ask women if we can have their colostrum, all right? We don't do that, all right? So I throw that just for fun sometimes. What we've learned is that there are other sources, better sources. Why are they better? Because, and I had a doctor tell me this, by the way. He knew about transfer factor. And he said, you don't get your transfer factors from a 5-star hotel, do you? Meaning that the cleanest place. No, you want your transfer factors to come from the dirtiest place. Well, where's a dirty place? Well, first of all, cows, I'd say they're pretty dirty. They're out in the muck. They're out there in the, in the environment. They're exposed to bacteria and viruses and all kinds of things. All right. So we have different sources, mammalian sources. We extract it from mammals, and avian sources as well, from the egg yolk. And these transfer factors are tested, by the way, for bioactivity. You can look at any product right here. You guys might not be able to see because it's in yellow. Now you can't see it. Lot number 3311841 on that one. This one's at black, so you can probably see that one better. All right. Lot number 20-1409. There's a lot number on every product because that lot has been tested for its bioactivity. Okay. So we extract transfer factors from different sources for human consumption, different delivery systems. All right. In liquid form, which, by the way, took 4Life like a decade to figure out how to suspend transfer factors in liquid and maintain its bioactivity. That's how we got Rio Vita, the liquid. So the point is this, though. All these things you should be able to share with someone in a fairly short period of time. I've taken a good amount of time here because I got into more depth and I got off on a tangent a little bit on some stuff. But the point is, you should be able to tell people about transfer factor, what it is, what it does, where it comes from, all those things in a short period of time. What are the benefits of transfer factor? How do we absorb it? Payer's patches. That's in the video, by the way. Just watch the video. All right. So all those things. Now let's talk about targeted transfer factor. The first targeted transfer factor we came out with was cardio. And really what they did was they learned that they can combine certain components, ingredients with transfer factors that actually enhance the transfer factor towards a specific bodily function or system, not function, but system. All right. We can talk systems all day long, you guys. What we don't talk about is diseases. Does transfer factor cure Alzheimer's? Does transfer factor cure bladder cancer? Does transfer factor cure heart disease? No. Your immune system, that's its job. Transfer factor just provides the knowledge and wisdom to help your immune system do its job. It's that simple. I said all that in a couple of sentences. All right. But what we've learned is we can actually target systems of the body. And really the first system targeted was the immune system, because we came out with transfer factor classic, and then they came out with the transfer factor plus. And I'll never forget when that happened. I asked the company, I said, we got, hey, Judy, I said, transfer factor plus. And I said, what's next? Plus, plus, and then plus, plus, plus. You know, how many pluses are we going to end up coming out with? You know what the answer was? I was told by Dr. McCausland, this is science. Science evolves. We learn, science progresses. And if we learn that we can make our product better by adding a component to it, and it just makes sense, we do it. So therefore, they started adding the 3 mushrooms, shiitake, maitake mushrooms, all right? They started adding cordyceps. They started adding inositol hexaphosphate, beta-glucans, which comes from brown rice yeast. All these things they started adding, even ace mannan, aloe vera, for our forever young, or forever living, I'm sorry, for young living is essential oils, forever living friends, all right? Aloe vera, ace mannan. They started adding some of these components, and they learned that it actually enhanced the transfer factor molecule's ability to increase the activity of these immune cells, the natural killer cells. All of a sudden, boom, activity goes up 437%, as opposed to 204%, I think it was, with just transfer factor. So we started seeing more activity of these immune cells. So transfer factor plus really was the first targeted transfer factor. Second would be cardio, towards a different system, cardiovascular system, learning by adding resveratrol and other certain things, all right, with transfer factor, other components, actually targeted the heart. It gives you better heart health, better circulation. It helps to establish healthy blood pressure, things like that. Okay. So when you're talking cardio, if someone has a problem, they mentioned they have a history of heart disease, cardio. All right. Learn about resveratrol. What are the benefits of resveratrol? Some people say, well, resveratrol is in red wine. That's different. All right. You know, yes, there's some resveratrol in there, but we have concentrated form of resveratrol, a very pure form of resveratrol in our transfer factor cardio. Oh, cranberry, other things in there that help the heart. CoQ10, cofactor Q10, that's another one for the heart. That's very good for heart health. Now, those are Me Too items, though. You can get CoQ10 at the health food store or the local vitamin shop. You can even get resveratrol, but can you get it in the right formulations, the right combinations with transfer factor to target that system of the body? Only one place in the world with 4Life. Let's talk real quickly about the nervous system, brain health. You know, this has become a topic lately that I'm seeing more and more discussions about brain health. I watch YouTube a lot, you guys. I'm not a big fan of just watching TV shows at all. I'm just not into it. But I do love putting on YouTube and watching someone who's very knowledgeable talk about brain health. I even watched one this morning about hair. all right, a hair specialist and a sleep specialist. Talk about sleep, the importance of good sleep to be able to function properly, throughout your life. If you think about it, we spend a lot of our time sleeping throughout life. All right, very important for brain health. Very important, I think, for even your nervous system and your immune system. All right, sleep. But let's talk real quick about Recall. There's another product I love, Recall. Brain health. Very important. There's been a lot of discussions lately on brain health, everything from depression, to people that have, mental disease, mental disorders, which really, I believe, is a whole new arena, new area that needs a lot of research and a lot of studying, brain health, because the brain is a bit of a mystery, but we do know there are certain things that help with brain health. All right. We do know there are even certain herbs, all right, that help with brain health. So 4Life, again, has combined certain components with transfer factors to help the nervous system and brain health. We know ginkgo biloba. We know that ginkgo is good for brain health. But again, you can get ginkgo at the local store, but can you get it in the right proportion and purity, by the way, purity, quality, to have the results you're looking for? Quick story. Many of you might have heard of a boxer named Muhammad Ali. He was taking Recall for many years before he died. His doctors, Eliezer Ben Joseph, and Eliezer, Dr. Ben Joseph, had put Muhammad on transfer factor. And then when Recall came out, he used Recall for many years. I'd say probably close to, I don't know, maybe close to a decade before he passed away, using 4Life's Recall. So there are actually a number of so-called celebrities that use our products because they work. So we can go on and talk about, this is another one's one of my favorite, Sleep Right, by the way. So if you ever want to know about a product, and we can't get into every product today, my recommendation, pick one, pick a product and learn about it. We talk Sleep Right. I can talk about 5-HTP. What's 5-HTP? 5-hydroxytryptophan. That's in this melatonin, right? Things that we know, but again, those things you can buy. You can buy 5-HTP at a health food store or a vitamin shop, all right? But can you get it in the right amounts, right purity, and right combinations with other components? So my suggestion, you guys, pick a product. And if the app is working on your phone, I don't know if the app is up to date. I didn't check it this morning yet. And the website's another place, by the way. You can go to the website. Get a product profile on that product. Learn it. Just take the time to learn about that product. Therefore, when you're talking to someone and they say or ask a question, do you have something for fibromyalgia? Yes, we do. We have Fibro AMJ. Does anybody here know what the AMJ stands for? Write it in the chat. Anybody know what the AMJ stands for? Fibro AMJ. AMJ has a meaning. I see that nobody's written anything yet. So it stands for arthritis. Okay, JT, great. Nothing wrong with honesty. If you don't know, you don't know. That's why we're here. So we all can learn and we all can know. All right. And I was very honest. There you go. Arthritis. M is muscle. There you go. And J is joint. All right. J isn't J Michael. It's joint. Okay. So arthritis, muscle, and joint. That's what the AMJ stands for. Great product. Many women suffer from fibromyalgia. If you talk to a woman and she's having neck pain, shoulder pain, these are called your trapezoids right here, these muscles, pain on the trapezoids, use Transfer Factor Plus and Fibro AMJ combined together. Great results, all right, with fibromyalgia. So we've got products for muscles, products for joints. We've got our targeted products for cardiovascular health, for reproductive health, for women, Bellevue, for men, Melpro. I love Melpro, by the way. You know, I'm 63 years old. I just took my Melpro this morning. I want to make sure I maintain a healthy prostate. All right. So we've got products pretty much for anyone that wants to maintain optimal health. And let's talk about this real quick, and then we're going to have to finish up. It's only natural when someone joins 4Life for the first time, they start trying to think of people they know that are sick. I get that. We want to help everybody. We want people to live a nice, healthy life. And the first people you think of are people that need this product because they got a health problem. What about people that don't have health problems? Do they want to still maintain good health? Or do they want to wait until they're sick and possibly dying and then decide to do something about their health? Well, it's my belief that in today's environment, today's society, prevention has become more important than it used to be. That's why you see so many people involved in going to the gym, from massages, you know, getting just lowering their stress levels, doing the things they need to do, even diet and so forth. There has become more of a consciousness towards prevention and maintaining good health. And that's why the health and wellness industry, which used to be a $1 trillion industry, is today a $4.2 trillion industry. Because more and more people are taking control of their health. It's important to them. They want to age gracefully, and they want to age feeling good and not have problems. In the end, if you think about it, to me, it's real simple. You can have all the goals in life that you want, all the dreams in life that you want to accomplish, all the goals you want to accomplish. But if you don't have health, you only have one goal in life: to get your health back so you can achieve all the other things. And that's what we have with 4Life, an opportunity to help people maintain good health and reestablish good health. So I love our products. Take the time to learn about our products, share our products, just like I did with Hansel and Christian, you know, on my trip. And that's really what this is about, you guys. Spreading the news, sharing with people, and then helping people build a network, build a family, build a tribe, a team, and have fun doing it, where people have added value to their life. Now, I do want to mention one last thing: cost. Some people might say it's expensive. No matter where you are in the world, United States, Korea, Africa, Canada, there's always going to be someone that says it's expensive. So my first question is, what value do you put on your health? Number one. All right. Number two, what value is brought into your life by being part of 4Life? What value are we adding to someone's life by preventing disease and illness, helping them live healthy? I mean, when I think about it, I think it's extremely inexpensive. Now, you might say, well, Dave, you live in California. Well, you know what? There are people in California that tell me it's too expensive too. It's all up here. It's all, if it is what you think it is. When one person, this just happened in Brazil recently, the very same day, I had one person tell me it's too expensive, and I had another person tell me that it was cheap. They said it's not expensive at all. The same day, two different people in the same country. All right. So it really comes down to what somebody perceives. Now let's talk about the real value you get here. I'm going to add the business side of this now. Think about it. There's more to this than just a product. The development, the growth, the personal skills, everything you develop by being part of the 4Life family. There's the health and wellness side of it. There's the personal development side of it. There's also the relationship side of it. Having healthy, strong, friendly relationships with good people. You know, J. Michael and Judy and Claudia and all of you, Dr. Gina and Jesse, and I see Trisha and all of you. And forgive me because I can't see all the names here. I see you all here. All right. You know, but there's so much more of value that's added to your life with 4Life. And that's why I don't want to get into business because we're 11:06 now. I can continue to talk about this. Why is it that people get into network marketing, don't have the success they hoped, doesn't meet their expectation? All right. And people don't blame themselves. They don't say, well, it's because. So what I try to show people is this: things didn't line up. All right. It could have been anything from the upline team, the support. All right. Were they there to work with you, mentor, inspire, educate you so that you can continue to do the same to your people? Upline serves the downline. Did your upline serve you well to help you so you could serve others? Did the company, did they responsibly do their job, making sure that they're continuously staying on the cutting edge? All right, by bringing to the table good products, scientifically proven products? Did they continue to administrate, expanding, continuously doing the things they're responsible for doing, paying you on time, making sure they don't just change the pay plan for their benefit, or doing stupid things like stealing downlines, making changes for people because of politics? It's politically correct to make these changes because we need to grow as a company. So we're going to take your downline, Jesus and Henry and Jesse and Viona. We're going to take your downline and move it over here. I see it happen all the time. For Life would never think about doing something like that because they're principles and values. They don't do that. And that's why For Life has been around for 25 years now, frankly, and we'll be around for the rest of our lifetime. So did the company do its job? What about the distributors, the affiliates? Did they do their job? It's a partnership. If one side doesn't do their job, let's say the distributors, just for whatever reason, don't get out and hustle, and the company doesn't have any sales. Well, can the company survive? A lot of people don't even think about that. They're just like, oh, I just want to make money. You know what? There's a system here. All right. Both sides have responsibilities. If both sides do their job properly, the company will thrive. It will grow and everybody's happy. But guess what? To think that times are going to be perfect every day of every year? No, there's cycles, and we're going through a cleansing right now. There's a big cleansing going on around the world in business. Companies are going down. They're declaring bankruptcy. And in our industry, they're dropping like dead flies. Not For Life, because we're fiscally sound, debt-free. They don't owe a penny to anybody. So no matter what kind of financial crisis comes along, For Life can handle it. I've seen companies over the last 90 days collapse because they couldn't pay their bills. They were too far in debt. You see, not For Life. So again, many reasons that people join a company and they don't really investigate the company. They don't really learn about the product. They just got emotionally excited, and it's okay. We all make decisions on emotion. They got emotionally excited about something, got involved, and it turned out later realized it wasn't what they thought. That's why I like to be transparent, and I do my best to serve, to try to help and support and inspire. After 25 years, you guys, and I guess I'm going to brag for a minute here, forgive me, I'm working just as hard today. In many cases, I think even harder today, because we are going through a cleansing. And I feel there's a time right now where I really gotta, it's like if you're an athlete and you're on the soccer field, you're playing football and you're down to like the last 2 minutes and the score's tied, you got to perform. That's how I feel right now. And I've got some good leaders that have come in from other companies over the last 60 days, great leaders, because they're looking for a home. So I'm working just as hard today as I did when I first joined. And that time when I first joined, I needed to make money to survive. My purpose really was trying to make some money. Now it's a bit different. Now I really love building people, building millionaires, building successful people. And it's become a lifestyle. I think it's a great lifestyle. So forgive me, guys, I went way over today. It's 11:10, but hopefully we've learned about transfer factor, my way of explaining it to people. You don't have to use my way. Develop your way if you want, whatever, but it is about, knowledge creates confidence, confidence creates action, and action creates results. So thanks for joining me today, you guys. Love you all. Keep going, keep growing, keep sharing, keep caring, all those things, and you will be successful. So I will pass it back to you, Jay Michael. I think I think I come back to you to finish
Okay.
up.
Hi, Dave. Thanks so much, Dave and Claudia. Always great to be with you, up here co-hosting with you, one of my favorites. And thanks everybody for joining us today. If you have some questions, Dave raised so many great questions for even me. I mean, I forgot about AMJ. I used to know that. I need to remember that. So, but things like that, I've got a couple products now that I'm putting on my little list for homework to go learn about. And I hope you are as well. All over the country, it's getting late in Kenya, and we're just getting lunchtime here, or late lunch here in Texas. So thanks so much for joining us today. We're here every single Monday at the exact same time. So bring a guest with you next Monday, and let's finish up this month of May really, really strong. We've got a lot of things happening going into the summer. So thanks again for joining us, Claudia. Anything to pass on?
No, we did
Okay.
the welcome to, I just wanted to welcome also Anastasia from
Mhm.
London. She is from Trisha's team. And once again to Georgia, who was also brand new, and we hope that it's been very enjoyable for her.
Great.
So welcome to our guests today. That's all.
How about Health Talk tomorrow? Anything special tomorrow going on?
I don't have, yeah, don't forget Health Talk. Dr. Gina, if you can throw the topic for us in the chat, I would appreciate it. But whatever topic it is, it's
always
so good.
it's
Just every
always-
Tuesday. It's amazing that we have so much support from people that are as knowledgeable as Dr. Gina. And I like that he goes like right to the to the
Point.
topic.
Yeah.
So for those new guests, Health Talk is tomorrow for the English team and for those that are on the other side, because that's same time, different code than you use today. Go to Dave's calendar for the code. That's
Exactly.
all. I don't have any more, Michael.
Nope, from Dave's calendar is all updated. So just go to Dave's website calendar, and all these meetings are listed on there with the direct links that you just punch in. And Join the
We have
meeting.
some new uploads on the YouTube. So also don't forget to go check what's new. There's more English talks there that you can share with your team, or just go back and look at the notes that you may have missed if you did, or if you missed one of those Mentor Mondays.
And
So there's
subscribe
also
and
some Tuesday
subscribe.
trainings.
I was
Sorry,
gonna say,
Michael?
subscribe to that, our YouTube
Yes.
channel. It really helps. We're
So-
trying to grow that channel. Just hit that little gold bell, and so you get to subscribe to the channel. The more we get, the more it'll help promote that YouTube channel and what we're doing through there, through Dave's channel.
This is like Dave says, I could not get tired of him, Michael. So if I can listen 1 hour
I
of
know,
Dave while I'm driving, or 1 hour of
Exactly.
Dave while I'm cleaning the house, hey, I prefer to listen to Dave and listen to so many more things that are going on out there. So don't forget, turn on your YouTube, listen to 1 hour while you're doing other things. So thank you, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Let's unmute
Bye-bye.
everyone here.
Can we
Oh,
unmute
I'm
everybody? Let's see.
All right,
I'm gonna
share
do
some
that.
energy, you guys. Keep going, keep
Everybody
growing.
unmute. There we go.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Michael.
Thank
Thanks, everyone.
you. Thank
Bye,
you,
Margaret.
Michael. Thank you,
Bye.
Dave. Woohoo.
All right, you guys.
Thank you,
Bye,
Claudia.
guys.
Love
Thanks,
you all.
everyone.
We love you. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye,
Gabby.
Fiona, Florence. Oh, I got Henry here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Hi, Henry.
Hi, Henry.
Hello. Hi,
Good to see you, sir.
thank you.